I'm happy now to bring on Brenda Siler, who will be introducing us to Aisha Khalil with Sweet Honey in the Rock. Brenda, thank you so much for joining and taking over from here.
Thank you, Denise. I'm happy to be here. Both of your previous conversations were great. I'm a regular shopper at Loyalty Books here in downtown Silver Spring, so I was glad to see them spotlighted today. Very important to our community here in the area.
Wonderful.
I'm happy to be here today. We're supposed to have in conversation with us Aisha Cahill, and there she is.
Yes.
This is wonderful. What we're about to talk about. Sweet Honey in the Rock, that has its beginnings here in Washington, D.C., is celebrating its 50th anniversary. They're going to be on a tour that kicks off at Strathmore on Rockville Pike in North Bethesda. That concert is next Friday, September the 16th. Y'all got to be there. And let's talk to Aisha, who has been with the group for 41 years. Welcome, Aisha.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what this anniversary means and what this tour is going to do, because Sweet Honey in the Rock is a globally known group. Talk about what you want to let people know about this tour.
Well, we're kicking off what we call the Road to 50. It's actually our 49th anniversary. And this is just like a launch of the three-year festivities and projects that will commemorate the 50th year, which actually starts in 2023. Sweet Honey in the Rock was born in 1973. So now time goes so fast. 50 years have passed, and here we are about to celebrate our 50 years.
And most audiences that have followed Sweet Honey in the Rock since its beginning are familiar with the group as being primarily a cappella, but when it requires, when the compositions make it say so, you bring in instruments as well, which is going to happen with the group that will be together at Strathmore. Talk about how instruments were actually introduced into Sweet Honey, that again started out primarily as an a cappella group.
Well, I was not with the group at its inception. I've been with the group since 1981. When I came into the group, we were basically a cappella, but we always played percussion instruments. So everyone played something, whether it's shaker waves, bells, shakers, different instruments. And we had Isa Maria Barnwell was with us in the group for a long time singing bass. And then she retired from the group. And so we felt that rather than just trying to find someone else, and she recommended also that we not try to find another woman to try to have a voice as deep as hers. So what we did was we got with Romero Mendez, which was a very wonderful bass player. And Romero Mendez has been with us for the past 8 years. He's now actually a part of Sweet Honey in the Rock. For this upcoming concert, we will also have other guest musicians. We'll have John Paul Borelli on guitar. We'll have Romero Wyatt on percussion and different drums and things like that.
Bernice Johnson Reagan is the heartbeat, the founder of Sweet Honey in the Rock. The connection that makes Bernice and what Sweet Honey in the Rock has done and been about in Washington, D.C., is that it came out of the Black Repertory Theater Company here in D.C. that celebrated its 50th anniversary a few years ago. Robert Hooks, a lot of us know him as an actor, director, producer, and Bernice were two of the founders of that group. And I want to acknowledge right quick another member of Sweet Honey in the Rock, and that's Carol Maylard. And she spoke with me last week. We did an interview, and that article appeared in the Washington Informer yesterday. And one of the things that she talked about is how Bernice was able to weave in all kinds of music genres into what Sweet Honey and the Rock performs and the audience is used to hearing. Can you talk about, how that blended together? If you're talking about folk, rock, R&B, talk a little bit about that.
Oh, definitely. Well, we have, sing various genres of music, and um, from African traditional songs that we may do different arrangements for, to blues, spirituals, gospel, rap, hip hop, jazz. Is the whole gamut of great African American music is represented through us singing. A lot of it a cappella, a lot of it our own compositions that we have written, but also other things that we bring in that we actually arrange, other spirituals or things from our church that we maybe put a new arrangement on to just kind of put a different energy out there with that music.
I love the fact that I can think back on when I first attended concerts of Sweet Honey and the Rock. It was when I was living in Atlanta. And that's when I became familiar with the group. Denise Johnson Reagan, just as I am, is a Spelman College alumna. So she and the group performed on Spelman College's campus, and it was just a wonderful welcoming that we gave her. I want to also say that our executive producer, Shevry Lassiter, her daughter is also a Spelman College alumna. So I was happy to know that she was also rooted in the Washington, D.C. area and brought a little bit of that uh, DC feeling with her as it came to the performance that the group did. But let's talk about the impact of Sweet Honey and the Rock on the culture, the legacy. What is it that you hope people will get and have gotten from what Sweet Honey and the Rock has offered to us?
Well, we as a group have always, through the songs that we write ourselves and also through other songs that we interpret, try to speak to ourselves as human beings in this planet, as women, as black women, and how this culture of this society affects us in very unique ways. We've always tried to sing songs that address social justice, to be aware of what's happening in the world and its impact upon all of us, near and far. For example, climate change. We've been singing songs about climate change for quite a while. We're singing songs about apartheid very early on, and there's all kinds of social justice issues that we want to sing about and make the world know about. And we feel that a lot of times, with the voice, especially with the human voice, it can touch people in a way that it can enlighten them, inform them about things they might not know about, and also touch them in a way that they might want to change something within themselves or go out and be a presence, a force in the world that can make the world a better place.
I think that the fact that Sweet Honey and the Rock has been in the forefront of speaking about environmental issues and so other social justice issues. And I know that comes out of the foundation where Bernice started out with a group of singers during the civil rights movement called the Freedom Singers, and then segued into building this wonderful vocal group, Sweet Honey and the Rock. 50 years ago, probably some people thought, should we be past this need to inspire, invigorate, or even protest about what's been going on? But it never goes away. I heard Ambassador Andrew Young speak a couple of months ago, and he said somebody came up to him and said, "I thought we had gotten past this. I thought this was over." And Andrew Young's response was, "It ain't never going to be over." So that's unfortunate, but at least we are able to be inspired by Sweet Honey and the Rock. And the music, as you've talked about, is a blend of so many different things. You've done your own compositions. You've given your own interpretation of some songs that we know very well. And what is it that keeps you all going? I know it's the climate and everything that's going on, no pun intended, but what is it that motivates Sweet Honey and the Rock to keep going forward?
I think everyone has their own individual passions, what keeps them going on. I think for me, it's the music itself. It's an opportunity to share the gifts that I have with the audiences. It's an opportunity to go deep inside of myself to come up with, what. How do I feel? How do I feel about something? If I feel about something so deeply that I can write a song about it, and then can convey that, and have an opportunity to travel and meet different audiences and express and communicate with different people about how their music is affecting them. That to me is a sacred thing. Music to me is a sacred thing. Uh, it keeps me going. It heals. It uplifts. It sustains. It's a holy art, and so for
Yeah.
me, that that is my inspiration.
Thank you, Aisha. And thank you for the blessing of Sweet Honey in the Rock, everybody. They are going to be kicking off their 50th anniversary concert tour at Strathmore next Friday, the 16th of September. You got to be there because you want to be embraced and loved by the music of Sweet Honey in the Rock. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a
Thanks, Brenda. That was a great, great interview. And yeah, I mean, DC, DC loves Sweet Honey, but the nation loves Sweet Honey. And I got to give a shout out. I just have to, because she's a good friend and I think a wonderful composer, Isai Barnwell. Isai, was one of the original founders of Sweet Honey as well. And there's quite a few, I think, that have come through the organization, but just always lent wonderful voices to make the whole time that they performed a wonderful experience. So great interview, appreciate it, and keep bringing us more. You got restaurants, you got theater, you got performances, you got a great lineup of stories that you continue to write, and we certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where do you come to get